Great to have your company again, Sagittarius. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au. Slightly different approach this month and next. I've moved into my new office here and I don't actually have the computer set up. But irrespective of that, I want to talk to you about the notion of Saturn, its transit now in your finance sector, and the way to sort of circumvent the ominous readings that astrologers give about this planet in your second house, namely being, lack of finance, loss of a job, struggles in earning, re-evaluation of your whole material scope of life. And I think it's important because there's a principle that I've noticed in the 30 years that I've been practicing, especially when it comes to money, and we're all guilty of it until we can glean that little bit of insight into how our awareness to our financial problems are actually impacting upon us. So let's take, for example, a situation where you are not earning enough, the bills are piling up. Is it not our habit, generally as humans, to worry about that, to focus on that, to have sleepless nights over it, especially if it's serious and you have no clue where you're going to get the money to pay for all these bills? So this month I wanted to talk to you about how Saturn can work for you as long as you are able to step into a modality of trust. And that modality of trust simply means a disciplinary action towards your awareness. Your awareness obviously is focused on money or lack of, and therefore you keep focusing on how little you have. And that's the problem. You see, the universe and karma work in a very unusual way, in that if your attention is constantly focused on how little you have, the transmission of that concern produces more of it. In other words, if you think about your debts, you will create a situation through your awareness, through this process of life, that tends to produce less and less. Look, of course you've got to plan and work out how you're going to overcome these financial issues, but at some point you've got to break free of that and understand that worrying about your lack of money is vastly different to having a clearly mapped out plan on how you're going to solve that. Problem, solution. So what we see here is that people rarely understand that the problem itself is the solution, purely because of the attitude. So Saturn, and what I understand through my many years of experience and initiation into the system of Vedic astrology, for example, is that embracing that problem, really embracing it with your heart, and understanding that you are here in this troublesome situation specifically for the purpose of growth, emotional, mental, and spiritual elevation, requires you to not shy away from that problem. Dive into it, embrace it, and you will see that Saturn starts to work in a very different way. This is one of the laws of success. It is a science according to everyone who has become successful. The science being that an embracing of that situation and then transcending that through a process of focus and creative visualization on precisely what it is that you want is indeed the way to circumvent this. Well, I shouldn't use the word circumvent. The way to use this current second house transit of Saturn to your benefit, to actually create maximum supply by the universe and by karma. So it's important that you develop this skill. It's important that you acknowledge and embrace and stop resisting the fact that there's a problem financially, if that's what's happening. Excuse me. And then utilizing the opposite strategies, which is to focus on not only what you want to have, not just creatively visualizing what you have, but coming back to right now and examining how much you actually have and expressing within your heart the gratitude you have for that. That attitude of gratitude is the important transmitter in your life. That's the first step. Next month, I want to talk to you about how once we get to this point of acceptance, gratitude for what we have, because gratitude for what we have is transmission of the appreciation, the understanding that we have so much, and it's that that's going to turn things for you. Next month, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, will be brought into the topic so that you can understand exactly where Jupiter is in your horoscope now, so that you can neutralize the influence of the restrictive Saturnian energy and imbibe that really beautiful expansive vibration of Jupiter. And that is next month. In the meantime, stop in at astrology.com.au. We've got the usual chronological view of the transits that are going on, and I hope this has helped. See you next month. Bye-bye now.